Steelers fans, brace yourselves. When names like Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, George Pickens, and even DK Metcalf start circulating around Pittsburgh's front office at the same time, you know something big is going on. The latest news coming straight from the franchise makes it clear the team is about to make decisions that could completely change the course of next season. An unexpected move at the most important position on the roster and a potential drastic shift in the offense are on the table. And here's the wild part. There's a super talented player now being questioned. You don't want to miss a single detail from these red-hot updates. Smash that like button and let's break it all down. Things are murky in Pittsburgh when it comes to the quarterback situation, and the Steelers are in a classic waiting for the first domino to fall stance before making their next move. The team is keeping an eye on the future of Aaron Rodgers. Yes, that Aaron Rodgers, the four-time MVP, but it's still unclear if he's going to retire or choose a new destination. If the bearded one walks away, Kirk Cousins comes into the picture, though his price tag might make any GM sweat bullets. If that deal doesn't come together, the Steelers will need to explore other routes, and there are some pretty intriguing ones on the table. Even with free agency running on fumes, there are still names out there that could stir up this QB race. And it's not about bringing someone in just to fill a spot. Pittsburgh likes to carry 4 QBs into training camp, so a new face is definitely coming. The list of possible targets has a little bit of everything. Will Levis, for instance, came out swinging for the Titans, debuting in 2023 with 238 yards and 4 touchdowns, and then stumbled. Injuries, inconsistency, and a disorganized team weighed him down. With the Titans drafting Cam Ward with their first pick this year, Levis is basically out in Nashville. A change of scenery could do him good, and Pittsburgh might be just what he needs. Aiden O'Connell is another sleeper pick. Drafted in the 4th round in 2023 by the Raiders, he already has 17 starts, 20 TDs, and only 11 interceptions, all on a team that couldn't run the ball to save its life. But now, with Geno Smith arriving, Pete Carroll at the helm, and another rookie, Cam Miller, added to the mix, O'Connell's future in Vegas is shaky at best. Then there's Carson Wentz, the first true free agent on this list. He spent 2024 holding a clipboard behind Mahomes, but still brings that longtime starter experience. He'd be a stopgap QB, someone to hold things down while the Steelers figure out their long-term plan. But if they want a veteran, Mason Rudolph already knows the playbook and might be the safer bet. One more interesting option, Jameis Winston. He's stuck on the Giants' depth chart. With Russell Wilson starting and young Jackson Dart gaining momentum, Winston is likely to fall to 3rd string. He's an obvious trade candidate. Sure, he still makes his fair share of mistakes, but he's also shown flashes of brilliance. Maybe now he can do that for the Steelers instead of against them. And finally, there's the name nobody's really talking about, but it actually makes a lot of sense. Ryan Tannehill. Out of action since 2023, he hasn't officially retired. He has history with current offensive coordinator Arthur Smith and could be a low-cost veteran who already knows the system. 2 years away is a long time, but who's to say he doesn't have one more season left in the tank? So Steelers fans, who would you bring in to stir up the QB competition in Pittsburgh? Which of these names do you think could realistically take over the offense in Pittsburgh? Drop a comment. Now hold on, the next piece of news might take a lot of people by surprise, and it involves one of the biggest stars on the roster. The buzz in Pittsburgh keeps growing, and the name on everyone's lips is George Pickens. The super talented and equally temperamental wideout might be nearing the end of his time in black and gold. Heading into the final year of his rookie deal, Pickens is the textbook high-risk, high-reward player. On the field, he's a deadly vertical threat, led the league in yards per reception in 2023, and has true WR1 physical traits. But off the field, let's just say maturity isn't his strong suit. NFL insider James Palmer dropped a bomb. The expectation is that Pickens won't return to Pittsburgh in 2026, and he might even be traded before this season's deadline. With DK Metcalf reportedly coming to town, another physical freak who can basically do everything Pickens does, but with less drama. The Steelers are clearly preparing for a future without him. The problem? The league knows Pickens comes with baggage, so don't expect a massive trade haul. Still, there are teams watching closely. The Chargers, for example, are building something interesting with Ladd McConkey and Trey Harris, but they're missing a proven receiver who can take pressure off the secondary. Quentin Johnston hasn't developed, Mike Williams is past his prime, and Harbaugh, the new head coach, has a history of managing tough personalities. Pickens could fit. The Cardinals are in a fragile spot. Jonathan Gannon needs results, and Marvin Harrison Jr. needs a legit partner on the opposite side. Pickens would be the perfect complement for Kyler Murray to unleash his arm. In New Orleans, things are in transition with Tyler Show stepping in at QB. Chris Olave is the top wideout, but his concussion history is a concern. Pickens would help the rookie grow and keep the offense competitive. The Jets are also in play. Garrett Wilson is the guy in New York, but the rest of the receiver room is lacking. Pickens already has chemistry with Justin Fields from their time in Pittsburgh. That duo could explode in the Big Apple. And of course, there are the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb is a bona fide star, but they lack a true second threat. Jonathan Mingo flopped in Carolina, and Pickens could fill that void. Dak has shown he can spread the ball among elite targets, which might help keep George in check, at least in theory. Bottom line, the talent is real, but so is the short fuse. One thing's for sure, if the price is right, someone's gonna roll the dice on this walking highlight reel named George Pickens. The question is, who's got the guts to handle the drama? Honestly, the Steelers situation feels like a pressure cooker ready to explode. If the team isn't careful, they could lose key players without getting proper value in return. And while trading talent for locker room peace sounds appealing, it's not always the right call, but letting a locker room issue fester is a dangerous game too. The truth is, Pittsburgh needs to move smart and fast. If you want to stay up to date with every move your team makes, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for the next updates.